What's going on, gamers? So here's another video of an individual, Joe from Seattle, who's going to rip into Concord and give other people's experience. As I said, I want to give people some different takes on this, but I will always come to the same conclusion and say that I'm still annoyed at Bungie for not choosing to do Destiny 3, and they should be working and getting prepared to release that soon. But we have a lot of situations like this, don't we? Definitely in the Sony world. There's something that when it comes to the Sony world, everybody makes the wrong decision on the type of IP they want to focus on, and they all do live service. Not that Bungie couldn't do that, but it's like, wow, man, where's your PvE at? Like, how you just gonna do that? Like, yeah, to me, when I see that, I seen the extraction, I'm like, no, like, absolutely dumb. And plus, this is not the same Bungie as we used to know. So let me know what you guys think about this. We're going to get into this. He calls this Concord 2.0, which I'm laughing at. A lot of people have. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be Concord 2.0 in the sense of it performing exactly like it when it launches, but more like you're putting the way that you chose that genre, you're still chasing that service. And then there goes the modern art and all this other stuff. It's just like, yeah, you're pretty much going down that path, but with an extra safety net because of Bungie and all that other stuff. But yeah, let's see what he has to say. We ready?
Hey, do you guys remember this game called Marathon, made by this company called Bungie? Marathon was announced a while back as Bungie's big
Hmm.
new project, and it's apparently been in the works for years and years and years. It's their big follow-up to Destiny, which was a almost historically insane drop-off from what their previous work was on Halo. Like, I don't care who you are, the cultural impact and like success of Halo and the influence had on its genre from Halo then going to Destiny, I don't care who you are, I don't care how much you like Destiny, that was a downgrade, we can be honest about that. And what better time to fix their reputation than with their first new game in a really long time?
I agree with him in a way. In a sense, it was. I would say it's a downgrade from a PvP standpoint because Halo was so fun to get on and play. Like there was just like this magnetism to it to where you could endlessly get on and play multiplayer, do LAN parties, do all that. I think when it came to Destiny, Bungie showed that they could do PvE, do in-game content, kind of like raiding content in a sense, and they kind of did prove that, but they didn't fully give us what we promised. So they tried to do that with Destiny 2, still didn't do that. And I think with 3, they had the opportunity to make it third time's a charm with the right technology, everything, no more excuses. But they didn't go for that. Instead, they went from something worse. And it's like Bungie is getting worse to me. They're not getting better. So
It's not a new IP, it's a reboot of the Marathon IP, which is something they were working on before Halo. My
yeah, and this is not like the original Marathon because it has the modern influence coming into it. It's so stupid, man.
goodness, how are they going to blow us away? How are they going to blow our socks off? I mean, we are living in the era of like great FPS reboots, great FPS reimaginings. We have the Doom games, we have
Yeah.
the Wolfenstein. Well, we have one.
Yeah, I mean, Doom, Metroid. I mean, the Metroid Prime remaster on Switch 2, absolutely incredible. Switch 1, sorry, 94 meta for a reason. The original's 97, but hey, that still holds up very damn well. And they did a good job with that. So if you guys want to get into that, you can get into that and then get ready for Metroid Prime 4. But I don't know about getting 2 and 3. I was hoping for that before that, but I guess not. But we'll see. But yeah, he's right, man. Amazing shooters that are still surviving, like Doom and Metro, are still coming into the present moment. Wolfenstein, they got to keep going with that too, and it's nice to see that.
One Wolfenstein game, one and a half Wolfenstein games. This was the perfect time to revive Marathon and really bring Bungie in and reestablish themselves as big heavy hitters in the first person shooter genre, and instead we have an extraction shooter with an art style that looks utterly corporate, and they just had the closed alpha. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Marathon's having the alpha test. People
Yeah, it's like when I see Fair Game, Concord, like all of them are doing that modern implementation. They're trying to chase a ghost that doesn't exist, meaning that what are you chasing? It doesn't exist. Stop trying, right? But this is when you realize there's an agenda to be pushed, regardless. And that some people get funding, and even if they fail, it doesn't matter. It's like a cult or a bad religion. You just want to push that. As long as you can do that, you're following that protocol, and it's okay if you fail. We got all the money anyways. We made it up.
are playing it right now. You wouldn't know because nobody wants to talk about it because absolutely nobody cares, and this is absolutely going to be Concord 2. And the fact that we're
Hmm.
lying to ourselves about that at this point is just insanity. But just remember, this is the company that told Naughty Dog not to release the Factions multiplayer game. Just remember that going
I'm glad he mentions that because I've been telling people this for the longest. Why did you pay 3.6 billion for Bungie for expertise when your live service results are absolutely abysmal? Then they go and choose the worst genre to make a live service game. As if this was the original Bungie. There was what Microsoft, or even the Bungie that was what Destiny 1, which is still a downgrade from that one. So we get all the way to this point now where they already had layoffs since Sony bought them, had some stuff going on with Activision. Then they had more layoffs again, and now Sony put some of those people into other branches, and now that Bungie's left on a lifeline saying, "You better perform, or the Sony suits are taking over because we own your ass now." hmm
Into Marathon when this game comes out and it peaks at like 2,000 people on Steam and then gets shut down in 2 months. Just remember that this is apparently the company that shut down Naughty Dog's Factions game. But don't worry, this had to finish. This had to come out. Bungie
Which was a good game, by the way. Shuhei Yoshida confirmed that. They didn't shut it down because they were afraid it would fail. They shut it down because they didn't want it to get in the way of single player games. Talking about we wouldn't be able to fully work on Intergalactic then if we do this. It's like, how could you not have the intelligence of being in the industry that long, being millionaires? Like you're in the most professional industry in the world, knowing how to program and code. Like all this stuff is like, you know what I mean? You're kind of ascending past that regular human spectrum, and you're kind of like considered to be like a highly intellectual like leader. Like you're supposed to be aware of all these things to where it's like you have a huge advantage over people that are just watching content on a YouTube world, right? Because you know how to program code, you know how this industry works. You've been watching it for what, 2, 3 plus decades, and you can't figure out that you need to consistently support a live service game. And it would, you know what I mean? Why not freeze it? Why not work on the single player game and freeze those assets? Same thing with Last of Us online assets, right? You know what I mean? Like, are you just gonna dump that off and throw it away? That to me is not professional. I don't see how them in that room could not know that. Like, if we work on a live service game, it's live service. You got to keep working on it. Like, you couldn't work on the other game too at the same time while doing that. Stupid, man. It's just stuff like that where it's like, what are you guys, like 14 now? Are you hiring 14-year-olds now? Like, you don't know how to program or develop with all this other weird stuff coming in the industry?
knows what's best for you. And I'm sorry if I'm being a little harsh right now. I made a video a while back about the
No.
marathon situation, and I was kind of forgiving of things, or at the very least I was waiting to pass judgment on the game until I saw it in action. People got their hands on it. I didn't want to call it Concord 2 because I wasn't certain that that was going to happen. I didn't want to have egg on my face. But after seeing people's response to the closed alpha that barely anyone even knew about, and a closed alpha that actually had its NDA lifted because apparently Bungie is now very concerned about what people's opinions of this game are and how few people actually care about it. Like, after the last few days,
Yeah, because they're still stuck in their cockiness from like, getting away with what they did with Destiny 2, Destiny 1. Like now they're gonna realize this is reality finally. That stuff is outdated. You can't live in the glory of the 360 days in PS4 era. That's gone. Now it's the PS5 era, right? Xbox Series era with the Switch 2 coming around the corner. Like this right now, the stuff you see in these market changes like crazy, yeah, they need to get with the times because it's not going to work. They're in a bubble, or like I said, a forced agenda.
I have no hesitation calling this
Both.
Concord 2. I don't know how it's not going to be Concord 2. It's not going to be as floppy as Concord. It's not going to only last a week or however long Concord lasted, but
There, it's going to last a marathon race. You get what I mean?
this is absolutely a dead on arrival game. I don't know how we're getting around this. I don't know why people are in denial about this. Because it's not just that people don't seem to care about this game. It's not just that the game seems to appeal to I don't even know who, but even the people who are playing the game early, people who could prove the naysayers wrong, they're not doing that. I'm just going to show you a little montage of what some of the most popular marathon videos are on YouTube right now, like alpha impressions, gameplay impressions. I'm just giving you a little slideshow of what people's titles look like. And then I'm also going to recommend that if you want a big deep dive into the gameplay and the actual mechanics and the nitty gritties of what makes this game how it is, I recommend this video by Big Fry. He did a very good analysis of the alpha, and I think his opinion
I did a video on that recently. You guys saw that. Yeah, he did. He did a great job on it.
are very well thought out and well articulated. I'd also like to take a second to mosey over to the Steam forums for this game. because the Steam forums are hysterical right now. Like, you go to the forums, and at the very top of the page, the first thing that you see that's not officially from Bungie is this post from Demon Hyro. Says, looks like Concord's back on the menu. And then you scroll down and you get, people's jobs are at stake. You scroll down further, you get, I hope you're all happy, Marathon's going to fail. Like,
And that's not being negative. It's just like, what are you guys doing? We see this. You know what I mean? The intelligent people in the game, like we see this. You're in trouble, Bungie. I don't have much hope for them. It's called being a realist. You see?
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? The game's in the middle of its alpha. The game is in the middle of what should be a really hype period for it. People should be trying it for themselves and really getting a hold of what the game's going to be, what Bungie's been working on. This should be a time for excitement, for interest, and instead
there's no soul, because if they're dead, you would feel that river, like, oh, you know, the joy, like, you don't feel that from them. And it's like, where's the soul at? Where's the light at? It's gone. It is, because this is what Bungie's been doing the whole time after Destiny 2. And you just feel like a womp womp. And then when you're watching it, there's nothing happening inside of you. That's bad. They got turned into corporate soulless soup.
All of the first, like, community.
This corporation is just a corpse. It has no soul. It's just a body and a name tag. You get very soulless. So when you see corporate slop like we're talking about, uh-oh. That's bad. Yeah, Bungie, washed up.
Made posts on the Steam community tab for this game are negative. They are overwhelmingly negative, and they are at best pessimistic. I mean, shit,
Yeah.
You just go over to the discussions page, not like the all page, the discussions page. Look at these. Do any of these inspire hope in you?
No, but that's the thing. Like, the whole world, in a way, knows it now. It's like, man, when Bungie used to come around the corner, think about it. It was something everybody looked at. It was a game everybody would go to a midnight release for. It's a game that you're like, we're going to be playing this for a while. For the first time ever in gaming history, Bungie is like this. This is what that stuff can do to you. Politics, all that stuff, just over time. Like I said, it's not hard to stay. I mean, it's not hard to have layoffs and break apart. It's very hard to stay together for a very, very long time. Like what Nindy does or Nintendo does. Same people. That's hard. It's not easy.
There is one positive thread here, and even in this thread, all of the comments are telling him that he's wrong and that the marathon hate is absolutely justified. OP says,
I don't even think it's hate. I think it's disappointment and being let down, because everybody knows, like, what you're supposed to be with Sony now, and then you're supposed to be Bungie. That combination was supposed to be like, where's it at? It ain't the combination you see with Microsoft and Bungie. Like, that's what I'm saying. Or even like Destiny 1 with Activision and Destiny 2 and all that. Like, they're just getting worse. And their expertise did not help.
the marathon hate is ridiculous. Look at these comments. It deserves all the hate it gets. The hate is deserved. It should die, and the community that supports it should weep in tears. The hate is absolutely justified. Bruh, stop defending this slop. Yum yum, eat the slop. Escape from Concord, escape from Concord, escape from Concord. And then you go over to the marathon Reddit, because I thought for sure that, you know, people on Reddit would be more forgiving. Like, if you join a Reddit, a subreddit for this game, you have to have a more positive opinion of the game, right?
I know what he means.
Well, the #1 post on the marathon subreddit is an extremely lengthy post about how the game isn't good. That's the top post on the marathon subreddit. A 1,200 word essay about how the game is not good. Yes, it is 1,200 words. I fucking counted. Or at least Google Docs counted for me, because I just threw the whole thing in Google Docs and did the word count. But still! And when you look at the criticisms being made here, it's, I mean, I'll read some of the highlights here. They did an interesting thing where they did like a good contrasted with a bad, but
Like, you're always going to have a niche audience for a game like this that'll stay around and play it. And I don't want this game to die, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm not supporting modern slop. I know what I wanted from it. I wanted an amazing PvE world. I wanted an amazing story direction that leads me into an epic endgame online PvE. And then I wanted Could have had the extraction stuff to the side, you know what I mean? But it's like what you did is just like, no, man. Why?
But I mean, it really feels like they're stretching for the goods here. Good, the interiors and POIs are gorgeous. Bad, extraction shooters as a genre are a sandbox where you should be able to play them however you want, and you literally can't in this game because of how forcefully team based it is. Good, I love the guns, they feel, sound, and shoot really well. Bad, voice chat was near impossible to get working. Good, runners are simple, easy to play first time, have depth and skill expression. Bad, outdoor areas are bland. Good, maps are solid. Bad, time to kill is ridiculous. Good, I played 5 or so runs with the pre-made group and it was sick. Bad, quote, I should not have to seek out this competitive trios experience that is supported to be baked into this game like promised. And like, it goes on and on like this. No
Hmm.
one really seems to care about this game, and the people who are bothering to care about this game don't seem to have a very high opinion of it. I just don't know how this is going to work out for Sony. I don't know how this is going to work out for Bungie. I don't really understand how this game could be making much of a comeback, if all, at all, in any... Look, this game launches in September for 40 smackaroos. And well, first of all, I don't know how you're going to be selling this game for $40 in September. Like, with the competition that you're going to be having at that point of the year. Not just.
No, he's right because now Nintendo has market share. The new Call of Duty is always going to come out. The new Battlefield is around the corner. There's always games constantly dropping that people are interested in. How is it when you have all of this coming into the gaming industry? You think people are going to wake up and say, I'm looking at Marathon and I want to stay there and ignore all that other stuff constantly coming out around? Hmm. GTA's somewhat around the corner too. I actually saw that on YouTube, like when you do content and you go down and select a game that you probably want to highlight to show up, GTA 6 is there now. It wasn't there before. I know. So yeah, let's expect something from that, huh? Interesting stuff here though that we hear about Marathon. And this is exactly what I thought when I saw Concord. I was like, nope. This is just Bungie's backing power, their own art. At least they know how to do that genre in a sense, but yeah, Sony's live service strategy is just all failing. Their only saving grace is Helldivers. Their game, mm-mm. There's gonna be more canceled games, y'all, and I have another thread about that, which is gonna be funny. It's gonna be interesting because we got some more stuff here. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Once again, I'm not like mad because we have so many other games around the corner. We got a new console coming in the game industry. We live in a world now where you're not waiting on a Bungie game and all these other games around it are not even close. That doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, we're good. But- So yeah, it's disappointing y'all didn't go for Destiny 3, but ponies, sit down. Things ain't looking too hot over there in PlayStation world. Except what's coming from other platforms on fire. All right, y'all. Have a great day.